For the last 5 months, I've been working on a Metroidvania and we've been rushing through trying to get all the features implemented so that we can start to get playtesters in to have a look at it. Spoiler, it's taking way longer than expected. Last week, we started work on adding some more rooms for the player to move around in and creating a long list of modifiers. Honestly, for the alpha, I think we don't need to have more than 20. We can probably get away with half that. Specifically, we dove into adding a secondary attack for our characters. We added a missile barrage where you can fire an array of homing missiles at all the enemies on the screen, and then we added a massive laser that goes across the screen and hits everything it touches. Even goes through walls. So what's next on the agenda? We need to keep creating mods and ability variations, and we also need to keep building out the levels and designing a path to the first boss, which includes all the small things like interactables and other things like elevators and buttons, you know. Also, I've got this pesky issue with my doors where you can only go left or right, but not up or down. So I think we might actually be looking at that today, because that sounds pretty fun. But if you're on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you're on Twitch, give us a follow. Let's get started, guys. That's the low budget intro, because I didn't have time to do the high budget intro. And now it's way too quiet for my brain. Where's the sound? There we go. Like at half volume. Actually, I really should do it the other way around. This should be low, and then on OBS it should be up at normal. So if I ever play something through there, it can be audible on both, and then I just need to turn it up here so that I can hear it better. Okay, how are we all going? So we were working on this laser last time I got off stream, and it was pretty good. I don't think, what were we dealing with? I feel like we were having an issue, but I fixed it. I can't actually remember what the problem was. But whatever it was, I promise you I fixed it. And now I also on Saturday night, I was feeling a little bit productive, and I made an elevator. I don't know if it's like good or not. Let's rerun that. Just go fresh. Like, I don't know if the elevator is good. So now we have the laser. Do we have that equipped? I also need to like fix up some stuff around. So it shakes the screen and it costs, which feels pretty bad. It was much funner when you could spam that thing, but that's not what we're trying to do. So in this room here, I started sort of trying to map out like a path that is a little bit more interesting. There's a couple of messy bits, but you know, we can walk through these rooms. I don't know about that straight bit where you just walk along, get chased by that guy. He doesn't know where to go because the pathfinding's not that good. But why don't I do that? We got an elevator. So this is my first attempt at like an elevator. Now there is issues I've been learning when it comes to like moving platforms and character bodies, but we got it pretty good. There's a little bit of jittering. The problem is, any faster and he'll fall through. Not actually fall through, but his character body will. And it looks really weird. So this looks fine. I think this is serviceable. No one's really going to be up in arms about this. But if I go and I find the elevator node, which is in this one here, and I change the duration from... is that variable called duration? I think it should be called speed or something like that. I don't know. Is it duration, or is it how fast it goes? And you can sort of see the feet start to be definitely not aligned with the floor. You know what I mean? I feel like it doesn't look too bad from that angle, but this is like a little bit. This is a little bit dodge. You know what I'm saying? But he's still technically on the ground because you can jump, right? It's just like visually. So yeah, I think we'll call it good enough for now. We'll just make it like 5 seconds instead of a lot. Instead of 2 seconds. 2 seconds probably makes more sense. Anyway, so we sort of made an elevator. How this works, right? It is just a path. So the idea is like you've got obviously your sprite and you've got an area which detects when the character is in that area. But then the main thing is just the path, and the path can go anywhere. So like you could just map this out. Like in theory, you could make an elevator that goes on a 45-degree angle, goes down, goes up, and it'll just move between the two start and end point. So you just bring that in, make it editable, and then change the endpoint for the path, and it'll just go to that, which works pretty well. But you do have to pay attention to where the start and stop finishes, because the collision shape is not on this this point here, it's actually here. So if you want these to like line up, because if you move this too far down, you won't be able to actually walk off. So that's a problem. How many ticks is my physics? It's set to 60. How do we find that out? Physics? It's the default. Godot physics 2D, default gravity, solver iterations, comment. Oh, physics ticks per second 75. Maybe if we change it to 60, it'll work better? I don't know. Also, we have to reset the position of this, otherwise it's going to be in the wrong spot. That's even worse. It's that is something I'm gonna have to think about, right? Like, do you just set this on a per game basis? Like when it loads, you work out what their frame rate is, what their screen refresh rate is, and just set it to that. Because my screen refresh rate, you might find 2D Physics Engine coming up. I'll give you some extra oomph as well down the track, yeah. Like, because if I set it to 75, which is the refresh rate of the screen that we're looking at, it obviously looks a lot more normal. What if we make it like really high? What does that look like? It looks normal. Looks the same as if it was 75. Okay, so it's really just the problem if... but that seems like unnecessary. Rapier is the one of the 2D physics engines coming up. I think I've heard of that. Yeah. Number of physics iterations per second. This is how often the physics simulation and the node physics processor run. The CPU usage scales approximately with the physics tick rate. However, at low tick rates, usually below 30, physics behavior can break down. Input can also become less responsive at a low tick rate. Physics jitter fix controls how much the physics ticks are synchronized with real time. Render will interpolate transforms of objects, both physics and non-physics, between the last two transforms so that smooth motion is seen even when physics ticks do not coincide with the rendered. Although this is a global setting, finer control branches on the scene tree are possible. This property is only read when the project starts. The toggle physics interpolation at runtime set scene tree physics interpolation. Interesting. So what does that look like? I don't think this changes anything, right? He still like hangs out a little bit below. I think this is fine though, like honestly. You just have to make sure you don't make it too fast. Could be better, but it's not like if you make it really quick, obviously there's a major issue. You can't have that. Like you can't have this be 1 second. Because then people are going to be like, what the fuck? It's too fast anyway. Let's just, not new scene, let's just reset that setting, and then I want to look at the doors, because I reckon the doors are chopped. So, in this room, I want to make another transition to a room above and see what that looks like, because I reckon it's not going to look good. And I think it's something I need to address. Obviously, you want to be able to go through up, down, not just left, right, because then how do you increase verticality within the level? And also down. Down should be easy. I think down just works because of gravity, but up I think is going to be the real issue. So if we create an opening at the top of this, and we grab this, then let's just put it like here. And then, I don't actually know if you can reach, actually, no, let's not put it there. Like, I don't think you can reach it. Connect these, you couldn't even jump to that, so that's fine. And then just like make the opening there. We have to like do something like that. We need stairs as well. Anyway. And then let's just create a door. Duplicate this door. And we'll put it like here so when you jump up into it, it transitions. Okay. Let's just choose black, I guess. So that it's like dark. And you can't actually traverse through it. Alright. So, if you jump up into that, where does it go? We have to create a new room, I suppose. Should we duplicate this room and then just delete everything and then just make a new room? And that comes up from the bottom. I reckon we'll duplicate this, save seat as, and we'll call it facility entry 3. And then increment, and then basically just remove everything because we don't need any enemies. We don't need any obstacles. Doors, I guess we need one door. Destructible objects. And then the elevator we don't need either. This is sort of your base scene. I suppose you don't technically need a save station, but I'll keep it around. And then we'll delete everything. That, and then delete all the tiles. Okay. What else is there really at that point? You've got a tile outline. We don't need any of those either yet. Background tiles. Clear it all out. Once I'm like confident with all the objects you need in a scene for it to work, I should just create like a base scene so that I can just start with that rather than having to duplicate the previous scene. That'll be way faster. Okay, so let's grab this door. It's easiest if it starts at 0, 0, right? So we'll just put it at that. And so here's the thing, right? Like if this one goes down and its index is 0, so how these connect up, if we open up facility entry 02, right? So if we go to this door, it wants the path to the next scene, which is easy. We grab this and we copy path UID. We paste that in. It wants the index of this door, which is not 0, right? This door can't be 0. It needs to be 1. It's because this one's 0. And then it needs the index that it's going to, which is going to be 0 in this case, right? So we just need to make sure that the path lines up and the index is the same. And this is actually up, right? Door direction up. And then facility entry 3, we need the path to the O2 movement. Copy UID. Its index is 0 and the next index is 1 and it's going down. So if we move between the two of them, we've got this is index 1, next index 0. This is index 0, next index 1. It's simple, but it works. You know? It doesn't have to be complicated, I don't think, with doors. We just count through them. Oh, you know what? I forgot to tell the Discord that I'm live. I was in such a rush. There we go. All right. Manager 2 is not one. All right. So, how does this look? Let's we have to like make the level, right? So there's something for us to come out of. So I think like you build this up a little bit. We're on a razor. So around this, you sort of have like a little hole that, you know, the camera will be able to see technically. Hello, Next Door Studios, how are you? I'm gonna have to work on that too. Like, how can we sort of obscure them? We're working on the doors. The background looks kind of funny, eh? It's because it's like normally black, but I made it like. Why does it look like that? Actually. Is that something that I did with this? You know what I mean? Like, did I do like a... Yeah, just make the whole thing like... The heck? What the heck, man? Why can't I draw it? Whatever. So if we go like, yeah, okay. We're just gonna make a really basic room. Just a square, because we're just trying to get the doors to work. Like that's literally it. And then we'll move the save station over. I've got ideas on how to change this too to make it more obvious as to what it is. And I guess that is just like the gray background. I need to make the background the same color as like the tile. Is it just this color? Am I going crazy? Why can't I draw on this? These rooms are sometimes referred to as gyms. I have a stack of them in every game to test stuff. Oh, nice. Yeah, okay, that's a good idea. Okay, we can draw. Oh, they're already drawn. That's what it is. That's why this one looks different. I see. I'm like, why can't I draw on it? It's already filled in. This is the filled color, and the darker color is the... Anyway, doesn't matter. Forget about it. Okay? So, yeah. Okay, we got the door. and it goes to the right place, I guess. So now we just need to walk over to it and see what happens. Prediction is we will just end up in this space, standing here. We'll just be standing here. The camera will be looking straight at us. It'll be fine, but we won't come up. So the goal is to be like, okay, the door needs to know. You cheat later by looking up the gyms for the person who completes the game and get some extra free content at no cost. Oh. Yeah, kind of like, what is it called? In Hollow Knight, you got Path of Pain, right? You wonder if that is like their testing facility. They were like, yeah, we just make this hard as balls to really see what the character controller is capable of. You reckon? Yeah, fair enough. Okay, let's see what... we're just going to end up standing in that room. I already kind of know what's going to happen. But we'll run it. Run it. Got 2. Yeah, so we're just like standing here. Well, what we want to do is get like sent up. This is fine, right? You just drop through. So there's a couple of things that I'm noticing. Oh, okay, that's interesting. How did that happen? I actually don't know. That is actually a fascinating little bug there. Oh yeah, like little story beats. Put like a skeleton and be like, we're trapped. Yeah, so we want essentially to be like boosted out in a jump. I think that's fine. I think we can do that. And then also, how the hell did I manage to get sent? We sort of maintain state, which makes sense. I wonder if I can jump into this. I need to change its position. So there's a couple of things that I need to make. One is we don't really want to use the tile map because it will change the camera bounds, which is a problem for us. So there's a couple of things there that we need to look into. Number one, the camera and how it works. So right now it won't draw beyond the tile map, which is fine, but like you could do better, right? You could set the bounds manually. You could set the bounds maybe with a physics object. I don't know really, but you know, that is something to consider because, right, if I draw on the map and be like, oh, don't have this because we don't want the player to jump through this, right? So like we have to sort of physically manipulate the tiles, right? And then same with facility entry 3. We still need something here because obviously we're gonna fall straight through. So I'm gonna leave that the way it is. Besides, it's not big enough for the camera to affect anyway, but see you later, mate. He can't even navigate to here because there's no navigation on the elevator. Not allowed. So you come up a little bit, but you don't maintain that jump. It's not enough. You need an extra boost when you come through the room, I reckon. So let's have a look at the script. So we should be able to like just match whatever. If it's like if it's down, I guess like the previous door is really what matters. You know? So what does the door do? I don't even think it's responsible for knowing much. It just like path of prototyping. Yeah, maybe add a little spawn velocity at the export variable to give it a push. Yeah, you could do that. there's a couple of different things we could do, really. We could know the door direction, right? So the door's responsible for requesting the next scene from the game state. It knows what the player is doing. So we could add like an extra variable here when you say load next scene, and you could tell like this, you could tell the character what state it needs to go to. So you could just say like, it needs to start in the jumping state. So you're gonna start with a jump. You could just give them vertical velocity. That's possible too, I think. So when we add the player to the scene, we could load player, game start load player plus location. So this is the thing, there's an object that gets set to where the door is, to where the player is going to be. It's not really, with the way that we're doing things now, you could get away with not having this object, but it's here and it's like, it works. So it's what we're using. Made sense at the time. Now we could just find the position of the door that we're going to and set that to be our position. But whatever. It's also responsible for actually adding the child to the scene. So this probably is where it makes the most sense to do it, because we can say player initialize player. It's probably when we call this function, we could probably do it here, right? We could add some information to this. You know, I mean, initial velocity probably is the easiest thing to start with. So we could just go initial velocity. And then the only issue is, right, if we start in the, if we're in like an idle state, the animations won't line up, I don't think. Vector2 dot 0 as a vector2, and it's equal to vector2 dot 0, so we won't get errors, right? And then initialize player, we can just go velocity equals initial velocity. That probably will work, honestly. That's not how you spell vector. And then yeah, velocity equals initial velocity, and then move it, slide, and all that kind of stuff. Okay, because we've started the state machine. So then, now we have that information. When we go through the door, what do? We would set an initial velocity. So we create a function here called set initial velocity, or next scene in brackets. And then we can just go match. We can match this export enum. Now, I'm just also realizing that this is going to be up, down, left, right. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3. Door direction. 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so up is the one where we really care. So the rest of them can just be whatever. We actually should probably return the vector2. We've got, there's a vector2. Okay. Do I keep spelling vector wrong? I think I'm typing it too fast and it's getting like mixed. Return initial velocity. Itchy foot. Okay. So if it's up, I guess we just give it like a 100 and... What do we do? What's the velocity for our dash? Not our dash. We've got to do like data. Player data. Player state machine data. So our terminal velocity is 384. We could just make it that in the negative, right? I wonder if we can get access to it. I don't think it's a global thing. Do we have... I'm lost now. Can you crash down through the elevator with a down attack? No. I don't think you could get through it if you even wanted to. We should test that though. Can we get to the state data? Do we have access to the player in this scene? We do technically. We could receive that information. We could say we've got the player, and then we could go and say that this is a player character, and then we can say player dot data dot state data dot initial dot terminal velocity. It's a float, so I guess we're just going to set the initial velocity dot y, and I guess we also need to set this to vector 2.0. Spelled it wrong again. And then yeah. And then the rest of them don't do anything. I guess if you're going down, we can just say that it should just equal terminal velocity. But I don't think it's necessary. It might even look a bit strange, but we'll do that to begin with. The thing is, I don't think this velocity... Yeah, I was like, oh, does gravity come into play here? It depends on what the state machine does, which I'm not really sure is how, like, I guess we'll find out how that behaves. Okay, so now we set the initial velocity. We actually need to load the next scene with that information. So in this function, when we go to the game state, we can, let's just go var init vel as a vector 2 is equal to set initial velocity. And when we pass in the player, and then we also pass that variable off to the load next scene, right? So load next scene gets another piece of information here. Initial velocity. I guess you could also just set it on the player. You know what I mean? Like, you could just put this variable on the player, and then when we call initialize player, we just take that information, but like, whatever. This is how we're doing it. It's a vector 2. Okay, and then here when we add player to scene, add player to scene, we pass in the initial velocity. And then in initial velocity, in add player to scene, we add that variable as well. Velocity, vector 2, getting still spelling it wrong. And then when we game start load player initial velocity, all the way down to here, and then we're back to where we originally looked at it, and we go to load player, and we have initial velocity, and it'll be there. If we go the long way around, we could have just left it. We could just put that variable on the player. But this is very reliable. I know that it will probably work. I say probably because I'm a very forgetful kind of guy. There's probably a variable or two that I've forgotten. There you go. Add player and seed. It's in other places. That's alright. We're just passing vector 2.0. How many places are there? It was erroring out on me. I didn't recognize it. Vector 2. Cannot find member vector 2.0. Okay, wait, hang on. What the hell? It's got to be in capitals. All the places. I should have made it an optional variable here as well, vector 2.0, since it is an optional. Yeah, we could, you know what? We could just make this be equal to, you just set a default variable here. Vector 2.0, that fixes all your problem. Should have just thought of that to begin with. Okay. Let's try again. I keep pressing up and I'm like standing on the save station. So it like reloads the scene. Okay, so the question is, can we do a down dash through this? And the answer is no. I don't think there's anything we could do to get through this, to be honest. Okay. That didn't really feel like I did anything, okay? Yeah, but see, like the velocity doesn't come into effect until you jump. That's really interesting. So you get like I think it's, number one, it's the wrong way because you're getting instantly hit to the ground. So they're back to front, which is fine, but also like, you're not clearing it. Let's just go, where's the door? And just invert these, because I had them around the wrong way, I guess. Try again. Ship it. Should you be able to pass through that? I don't know. Yeah, I originally set it up with a one-way. Yeah, it's just really not happy, eh? So you're in the fall state. You have, your current velocity is 109, but nothing is happening. I wonder why. And negative is definitely up, so it was right the first time. I think you also have to just say the state. You could do that rather than passing in a velocity. Just set a starting state, I reckon. I'm gonna turn the fan on. You're heating up the studio. I've got to cool mine down because it's like 30 degrees in here. It's probably not 30 degrees, it's probably like 25. Yeah, because you know why? If you go to the player, we got a lot of functions, but in the physics process, we are saying move and slide. But we're also getting velocity from we're setting velocity at, you know, on velocity change velocity. This is going to override any number we pass in, pretty much. The state machine is in control of the velocity. So we would also need to pass this on to the state machine, which is going to be like interesting. We're technically in the fall state, so it should be okay. Now I wonder if I can do that. I have access to the state machine. State machine dot current state dot velocity. I think is it spelt the same? Equals initial velocity. Current state is a state, which is motion. That doesn't have that variable, but like motion has the state. Motion has the variable, I should say, called velocity, which is actually the variable that controls where we move and go. So we could try something like that, but it feels very hacky. It's probably smarter just to set the start state to be a jump. Let's try. And then if not, we'll just set it to be a jump as the starting state. Because we can do that too. We can just set the starting state to be jump or fall depending on go. It really doesn't like that, eh? It is not happy when you try to do that, and I'm not really willing to figure out why. It's kind of interesting though. You'd think it would be more straightforward with the complicated state machine, but I don't have anything to sort of make it do that, so I guess we have to create that. Because you would think that, like, update gravity... What are we doing here? We're just adding the y to the velocity. We're adding plus equals, you know, gravity minus delta. And in the jump... So we're just subtracting from velocity dot y. So, like, realistically, why not? You know what I mean? I'm gonna move this safe station. Facility O2 movement. I'm gonna move the oh, we've got the save station so that we can just be closer to where we're actually trying to test things. I also need to create some dev tools for that to make it easier. Also, there's some things here that I don't like. Namely, this guy here, he's detected me, and like he can't reach me. So we need to probably add some raycasting to the enemies to see if they can actually see you in their detection field. Current state chase. So we go into the idle state straight away. Yeah, I don't know about this, eh? Is there anything that we can see that's like a clue? Position, scale, rotation. What about velocity? Can you see it in here? Is that something you can see? Alright. Go to the script player and look for, I guess, process or physics process. Velocity has to be 0, right? Yeah, it is. So at any point, is it? Right before it enters, it doesn't really even make it through. So let's just abandon that. That variable is too difficult to control with all the things that's happening to it. So we're way better off just telling it what state to go into next. So we can do that exactly the same as we're doing. Instead, we just pass a thingo through, which is super annoying because we just changed them all to be velocity. Let's go back to the game state and first work on that there. So initial velocity, initial state, I guess. We could just work out that. And it's going to return a string, actually. And it'll be equal to, I guess we'll just make it equal to idle to begin with. We can't have a blank string, that'll cause problems. And then this we just change to, if it's up, we go to the jump state, right? And this, we just go to the full state. And for these, I guess also, oh well, they default to idles, that's fine. And then we return the initial state, right? So I guess the third guy here, what stuff have you made so far? We are working on the doors right now because you can't go up. You can only go left or right, which is, it's fine, but like, it's better if we can go up so that we have more options when it comes to level design. So we're just sort of dealing with that now. It's not a super difficult thing. It's just like the simple solution didn't work. You know what I mean? We also don't need the player anymore for this. Change that to init state. Okay, so then load next scene's cranky as hell. Everything's going to get cranky when we do this refactor. So initial velocity is not declared in the current scope. That's fine. We go initial state. And then add player in scene. We are passing on initial state. And then we also, it's way easier if we give this a default value to be equal to idle as the initial state. And then we pass that in. Okay, game load player also wanted velocity, but that's no good. So we change it to initial state, the string, and also give this a default value of idle. And then this final spot, initialize player, we're all the way back here, where instead of adding velocity, we're going to, first, we can just go state machine dot override state initial state. Let's just change its name too. And it's a string, and this can be enforced. That's okay. It's only getting called in one spot. Okay, so that's fine. Now let's see if we can do... We need to go back to the game state because the game state was actually... see, cannot pass a value of type here. We can just delete this. We can delete this. And we delete this. It wasn't doing anything anyway. Okay, save. And I think that's all the places we were messing around with this. And now let's see what happens. Okay, we're right here at the door. Still not enough. Oh no. What the hell? We're falling through everything. Those are some interesting bugs. I've never seen that before. This is fun. I never get to see bugs like this. We still have that issue where we try to jump and it doesn't do anything. Oh, and we also can't jump to start with. Like, that's really weird. We get sent straight back to idle. So what's happening here? Go to the player. We have made so many things so far. It's actually like getting hard to even describe. We have a lot of stuff, but there's some just small things I just never dealt with at the time, I guess. Which is one of the things. Which is the transition to a vertical door. Override state. So what else are we doing here that might tell us otherwise? So we are starting the state machine. We are set flash off, set max health, set energy. We've got the camera position, camera on interface, inventory. Okay, fine. And then state machine override state. And we're passing in an initial state. Let's run it. I just need to see it, like, the process around this. I guess for the first view, we can just, like, override. Close that. So we can continue through that, because we know it's just going to lead to an idle state. We go through this. So we get this information. The initial state is idle. That's interesting. Let's sneeze. Oh, goodness. That was a lot. Okay. So that is the issue there. Did I match up my match? Is this whole thing, like my match case, is just wrong? Like the other thing was fine, it was just like not passing through anything. Is that what this is, this entire thing? Match door direction. I guess let's put a breakpoint there. Yeah, initial state idle, that's what we expect. We jump through this. The initial state is idle. Index is 1, next index, door direction is up. And now we're matching. So the match type is 4. Huh. Up, down, left, right. Export enum. Okay, so I'm gonna change this enum because it's too hard to understand. So that's probably the answer to all our questions. It was just getting passed into 0 velocity. So I guess we need to go back to the drawing board and start this. So we can create an enum, which is going to be called door direction. And it will be, what do you do? Like not those ones, these ones, right? And we'll go up, down, left, right, which will allow us to refer to them in code, which will be a lot better. Now, I think there is a way that you can still have an export enum with this. So here, like, it looks like this. Character name, I believe. If you want to use, so let's try that. It probably breaks all of my, it probably breaks everything. Export var door direction, not as a string, but as a door direction. I'm gonna have to go through all the doors and reset them. Good thing there aren't that many. That's the entire point of making everything first before making the game. So now we still have a drop-down box. Okay, so great. Does it break all my doors? Door direction up, door direction is actually left. Now this does matter. This existed obviously before our transitions because I'm using it for the map. So the map does need to know that the direction of the door so that it puts the next position in the map that it's drawing in the right spot. That was the initial point of the variable. So yeah, I guess, I don't know how I matched there. If it was a string, maybe I could have just matched it like that. I don't know. Doesn't matter, I'm changing it now. I'm gonna have to look at the map code as well, I guess. Where are the doors? Game objects. I guess here, doors. So the prompt door is technically, it's not up, we don't want that. Let's just call it left. It doesn't matter because it's not a crawl door. Acro door. That's this one here. This is going right. And then the boss door is going left. So I thought like the prompt door, which is a different kind of door, it's like you go inwards, right? There's no option for whether or not we crawl. Like on this one? Is there an option for that? We've got door direction, next index, next scene. But I thought there was an option for a crawl door. Door disabled. How can we tell if it's a crawl door versus a prompt door? promptors are different. They're like a different class, but they extend door. I don't know how I'm doing that. Anyway, I'll have to look at it because I'm probably breaking how it works. Okay, so now we can actually check that. The whole reason we make that change is so that here, instead of going this, we can actually go door direction dot up, right? And then left, right. Actually, let's just go clockwise so that it makes more sense, since we can just check them now. Door direction dot down. So up, right, left, down. So we go up, right, down, left would be clockwise actually. Ass instead of bus. Classic. Okay. Everything just works fine, no problems making a change like that. We're about to find out. Definitely not. Okay, initial override state. Oh, this is a breakpoint, that's okay. Okay. Okay, let's check. So we've got our match value and match type. I don't know how to read this. It goes to the right spot. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what we want. Done. We probably want to add a little bit of direction to it, but you know, this is good enough. There's a game that I was playing. You know, I think preservation of velocity is like something you kind of want to have. Now, I don't know if I am preserving velocity. Technically, the player never ceases to exist, so I don't know why you wouldn't preserve the velocity. Something we can look into. Facility entry at 3, facility no. Where's the player? I want to get rid of that breakpoint. Things are working now. It's kind of fine. We've got some errors. Huh. It's funny because you do spawn on the floor, you can't actually... It's lost now. Yeah, it's going to take us to this room. It's so weird how it does that. I don't understand that bug. You know what's crazy? I never understood. It's so funny because, yeah, I remember watching like, oh, this is how we like find these crazy bugs in Silksong, and like if you like do this certain set of actions, if you walk through this door, you'll end up at the final boss or whatever. And it's like, I was like, how does that work? Because like in my games, like it feels really clear what's happening. But then you end up with weird stuff like that where it's just like, I don't even understand how that's functionally possible to like get transported to that other door. Unless we're like, it's just like, it's kind of weird. I mean, that's kind of pretty good. I think, yeah, we just got to work on the transition issues. Like that. Like, that's weird. How does that happen? Other than that, also, we got tons of shit in the debugger. Okay, play jump. Playback can only happen when the node is inside the tray. That's pretty funny. You're jumping before you're even spawned. I wonder if I could do like a check. Jump at GD60. Play jump. It's the sound effect. Huh. We don't actually want that to play anyway. Is there like inside tree? Is inside tree? Like, we don't actually want to play that sound anyway. So, don't do it unless you're inside the tree. Problem solved, I guess. Okay, let's try to think about why you might get transported across the other side of the world when you do this. Specifically when you're like pushing right way. Like if I'm pressing the key to the right, you end up at this door over here for some reason. And I don't know why. Oh, okay, that's like so bad. I think what's happening is I think if I had to guess, your initial position is set 0-0, right? Like when the player is spawned, their position is just at the world origin. And if you're already inputting something, then you start to move wherever that is before you're shifted over to this position, right? That's my guess. So if you're not pressing anything, fine. But if you are pressing something, oh shit, you fall through the world too. I suppose that's a possibility. Very interesting. So, how do we deal with that? Do we await? Do we wait inside tree before making this call for the initial state? When do we actually spawn the player? Is the collision box overlapping anything that exits the room? Yeah, I guess that's another question. Some more obvious issues. The answer is not really. I actually do want to make this editable. And like realistically, a transition like this should be way smaller. Right? And then, yeah, I reckon if we go... I guess this is touching things, but that's like fine. It's not a problem. You know? So, if we go to the player... I'm gonna sneeze again. The one in the room with the chamber... Oh, okay. Yeah, just the empty room. No, there's nothing happening here. Make it really small. You know, it's funny, I'm moving this around. I'm starting to think like the position of the door is actually really key. Yeah, like you shouldn't really be moving the area around. You need to move the whole thing. So if you... Okay, so the size of this is fine, like whatever. You can make it as skinny as you want. But you need to reset its transform, like 100% of the time. And this, you need to reset its transform. I guess it's fine. Why is that there then? And then this is the thing you move, because that's where you get the position. So go to this. And I suppose this one's alright. It always defaults back to that, I guess. Okay. But yeah, I don't think it's touching anything. Plus, they only interact with the player anyway. I reckon the player's moving into it. Like if you go here and you print out the position of the player, they're like in... If you print the global position, they'll be like at the position of that first door in the first frames. So if you go back to facility entry 02 and you look at this door, which is at 1643, I bet you that's the first readout that we get when we spawn in. No, nothing like that. Interesting. It's funny now. Now we can't actually make it happen. Yeah, no, we did. And we're also like underneath the level. Very interesting. We end up at 256, 350, which is the position of that door, right? This door here. 256, 350. And then we get shifted because we scene change. I guess I'm gonna have to put a breakpoint on, because I don't actually know what's happening here, but it is something we cannot have happen. Because that's a way, like if I can produce that bug, then I think it's gonna be more common than I realize, right? Especially because people are just walking, right? So we can see the door, that's fine. We need to like... Hello, where's my input? What is going on? Okay, so... I need to close this. No, it's not readable otherwise. Okay, and it say false self. What are we looking for? We're looking for load next scene. Next scene, right? Kind of hard to read. Next index 1, door direction 1. It's kind of a problem, eh? Because I can't actually read what that... And it's going again. That's triggered. Go through door. How come? Facility door. Next index 2, index 0. Position. So how come it's triggering that in the very next frame? Is it like a signal thing? It only happens every so often though, right? So it's not a consistent error. That's a really fascinating bug. So like we can consistently, it's only when we're pushing against it do we ever reproduce. What about if we go this way? Is it like, yeah, we can produce that error and then we end up below the world. Is it because, do we have a disables control flag? Yes, but it also disables the physics processing of the character. So I might have to look at that. You know what I think it is? It's when you're grabbing the ledge. So when you grab the ledge, I think it creates an error. Watch the character. Yeah, see, like he's got, when you're in the ledge grab state and you transition, I think that's what's causing the problems. There's probably something there that's causing the position to be like messed up. We have to like land perfectly on the edge of the ledge so that we grab it. There, and look, we're falling through. Okay, so that's how you produce the fall through the world error. You have to land as a ledge so if you do that, you like instantly just start phasing through the world. No ledge, stop that. So you need to probably, first of all, interesting. So, do we address this problem in the ledge vault, in the vault state, or, okay, so that's one of the bugs. We still don't know about the phasing, like the changing, you know, transporting across the levels, which is an interesting bug in itself. But like, we know that when we vault, we know for sure the cause of this bug. So let's tackle this. So when you enter this state, you turn off collisions. That's what it is. I turn off collisions because in order for the ledge grab to work, we can't get caught on the edge of an object, right? So like that's how we deal with that. Like when you're vaulting, you just don't collide with the world, so that you can be transported up the ledge without getting in the way of the ledge. So we are no longer colliding with the world, and then we're also setting an override state. So basically, when we transition to the jump state, we're going into the jump state. We're cutting this off because this doesn't get changed back until you exit this state. And I'm guessing that this just, when we call override state, we are just instantly put into the next state without calling this exit function or something else. I don't know. This is also like controlled a little bit by the animation player, I think, right? Like, have a look. Run left, run right, sprint left, turn left, wall left, right. Where's vault? Is there more to this list that I can't see? Ah, back to school, mate. It is what it is. You gotta finish school. It's important. Trust me when I say it's way better. Well, actually, not everyone feels this way. I just do. I know it's not a universal feeling, but I'm like, I'd rather be like, okay, maybe not school itself is better than work, but the cadence at which you need to go to school is better than work. You know what I mean? Depending on what you do. Because you don't get breaks. You know what I mean? You don't get to have your 2 weeks off over Easter. Unless you take that off. But then you only get 20 days of annual leave a year versus like the 60 that you probably get as a student. I wouldn't know the math, but I know for sure students get more time off than workers do. Okay, I can't see the animation in this list. Is there a weird buzzing? Let me check the stream audio. Oh. I can hear that. There's no music either. It's basically not. Oh, it's there. It's very low. Is it coming from that? I think it is, right? It's not coming from me. If I pause that, then the buzzing stops. Interesting. Dude, I need to replace my audio setup. Hang on, I'll reset. Testing? I'm still here. And the audio is back to normal. Yeah, I don't know. It's probably like there's probably some kind of issue with like the processing of the audio, but because the microphone is coming from a separate channel, it like somehow is coming out clean. You know, like sometimes my voice goes like buzzy like that. It's like the same thing that that's happening there. Wall vault blend. Animation wall vault. There is an animation. Is the sound card on board, or it's a M box? Yeah, it's not fancy. It's like sort of semi-budget. I don't think they sell them anymore. M audio. I can't even remember what it's called. Anyway, back to focusing on this. It's for music production, because I used to be really into that. I don't really do it anymore though. Convenient to have though, when it comes to plugging in fancy microphones. Okay. So let us. Right, so we're looking at the vault. We gotta find this wall vault left, right? So, okay, so here we go. Let's have a look at what this animation is doing. We're calling position up, and I reckon it's all to do with this. Position, so we're like animating the position. So essentially to make this look good, we're waiting. So he goes into this pose here, and then when you go into this pose, you go up, and then when you go into this pose, you're moved across. So we're sort of animating the movement positions in line with the animation. Fine, okay, like it works all right, but when you're in a loading state, this whole thing is, you know, bugged. So, we are going to look at the wall vault as a state and see if there's any way that we can break out of this. So we basically set the up duration, and it's funny, they're kind of aligned. If up duration remaining, start. Okay. Start update, state update. If start moving, then you start moving. Position up. These just, they just set them to true. Interesting. So I'm just setting these variables to true. Start moving up, and then it like starts moving the Y velocity up. Interesting. And then position across doesn't do anything. So I think at one point I was animating them like with actual positions, but obviously I was having issues with that. So I just started to like say, hey, when the duration is remaining. So okay, so those animation points are a red herring mostly. For start moving is basically get set to true, and then it counts down for the up duration and the across duration, and then moves the player accordingly. Right, fine. That works. It's not really particularly important. We're just trying to get the player up and over a ledge. Do we need to have collision issues here? Like, do we need to turn off collision? Is it precise enough without it? What does it look like without it? Can we just get away with that? You know what I mean? Like, how does the game operate when you turn that off? Do we have any fail conditions? First of all, we have no head. Right, how does that feel? Yeah, we do. We end up having like little issues because the player can't get across. He has to try twice. It's not particularly consistent, whereas before it was 100%. I think I'd have a better time if I made the up faster, right? Can we just go back to the reset idle? Anything is better than what we were in. Idle left. Okay. Just put him in that position. And then, okay. So then, yeah, is the question, if we just tweaked it a little bit, would it have a better time? Wall vault. Up distance divided by up duration. So we've just got a bunch of, so how do we set the up distance? Equals vault cast position dot y. Okay, interesting. So we're just deciding that, yeah, that's the position that we go to, which is above the player. We could make this like a jump, right? So we could add like a little bit of extra to this. Like we could just go like +6.4, right? Plus data dot wall jump height is probably a better way to do that rather than just adding. Owie. Okay, negative jump height. Hit by that every time. Whoa. That certainly fixed your issue. Dude, that's we're doing that every single frame, that's why. You're definitely not gonna have any issues with that. Damn, that's a powerful vault. Up distance is wall cast position. So how are we calculating this up distance? Up duration. Okay, so we are just calculating the position. We're adding 64, which is a lot, I guess, to cover in the same duration. 64 is only, I guess if we just, a tile is 16, so if we made this 32, that it would be like 2 tiles, theoretically should be fine, but then 64 is like massive, so it's all looks very mechanical, you know what I'm saying? Even if you just -8. I'm gonna have to work on that because it looks bad. Right, because there's no gravity. That's why it looks bad. I'm sure you will have more fail conditions. And more sneezing, oh my goodness. That's like the 3rd time this stream. I guess if we just make this honestly 4, we're gonna get over without fail states. I don't really like that we're just putting like a number in there to get us like over the edge though. Oh well. That is what's causing this issue though. I'm convinced. Like how else could we're like getting caught? What is going on, buddy? I have to address that at some point. How else could we be like having this issue so consistently? The code will never be perfect. Worry about the play experience. Yeah, exactly. Right. kill. Major laser, yeah, we're doing the laser. I added like a bunch of screen shake and slowed it down a bit, but yeah, I don't know. Well, I do know. We do know. It is because of this, like, well, now we're not phasing through the world, but like, yeah, we've got issues. See, that's fine because I know what that is and I just need to sit down and actually fix the animations for this because we're cheating, right? That is like, I'll do that off stream because that's going to be hella boring. But yeah, you know, that's... It's so funny. Do the waifu manager approve of the downforce feature yet? I haven't got her to play test it yet. I should. I wanted to make like a TikTok or whatever. We still got that transporting through the worlds thing. Dude, I'm convinced it's related to this though. The question is, what could possibly be within that? So, okay, so here's the thing. We can test this out. What I want to do now is actually test it where that is not possible. Because right now we're saying, oh, when we grab the door, you know, there's something happening there, right? Okay. What if we can't grab anything? Does the same thing happen? So what we can do is we can create an impossibility for that to happen by adding some tiles. Even if it looks ugly, we do that, we can no longer grab anything. Okay, and then same in the next room here. I'm actually just gonna create a hole in the floor. And move the door down. So now you can no longer grab the wall. Is it possible? Can we confirm once and for all that this is to do with the wall vaulting state? I don't even know if I'm going to be able to reproduce it. So I vault back. Stop that. Okay, no, wait, hang on a second, we can do this better. Let's move it way further down, so we have time to like... Oh, we're not going to be able to get out of it. I think that's alright. That'd be pretty funny, actually. It's a one-way trip. I think it is related, to the wall vaulting. This is pretty funny. It's 100% the wall vaulting. So we just either need to prevent that from ever being possible, or we address the issue. Which is it? Like if we can't reproduce this when we're just falling in and out, but we can when we wall vault. It's a fun bug though. I still can't even really think of why it would do that. You know? Breakpoint the wall vault? Yeah. What is, let's have another look at the vaulting. Maybe the answer is in there. Okay, it's not got anything to do with the collisions though. We know that much. That was a factor, but it's not the only thing. So when we start moving, we've got the up duration, the up speed. What I think it is as well, it's not when you're wall vaulting pre-transition, it's when you're wall vaulting when you come back in, right? Finish moving, disabled, finish, get next state from input. Shooting disabled. So when you enter this state, velocity 2 is equal to 0. Velocity change to emit. So we're preventing the character from moving. Up speed, up duration. And then we're just setting the velocity Y and the velocity X. We're not really manipulating the position of the player, we're just manipulating the velocity, which was always the case, because originally I did try to like manipulate the position, and it's just like, no, you can't do that. You can only play around with velocity, really. Is it that the wall cast position is really funky? Maybe that's what it is. Like the across, the distance and the across position is like, comes across as really strange, and so it gets like really weird. Also, I'm just gonna add a note so that I know what this is for. Extra few pixels to consistently clear the ledge. That's what that 4 is for. In case you're wondering in the future, when you forget how this is all. We're also preventing the movement. Well, we're not preventing the movement. We're just saying that the velocity is 0 and we don't start moving until that variable is set to true, which is done by the position. If we exited this state, then none of this would matter because it's not a shared variable. It becomes irrelevant. Like if you were in the fall state, if you were in the vault state and then you got moved to the idle state, none of that would really matter. We've seen it get like overridden, because when you take damage when you're wall vaulting, everything is fine, but you do not get your animation frame. Your frames get all messed up. And it's a known bug, and it's not really that. Oh yeah, yes, it is here too. That does work here. See, it goes brown. I don't know where you find the list. I mean, I guess the real thing is, you need to make sure that you can't wall vault on an upward or downward transition. That's the real thing. I guess we can just, I'm fine with that just being the case. Like, don't let that happen. But then if you're making a big game, then that might be like this. Kind of sus out of context. I've been clipped. Like, if we can't reproduce this when we're just Wait, why is that sus? I don't get it. Like, if we can't reproduce this when we're just If we can't reproduce this? I don't know, bro. Twitch freaked up the clip. It was meant to say other stuff. Okay. Rip. No clips for you. Yeah, that is a fascinating little bug. But I also want to... This is the other thing as well. So, all of that aside, something that has been bothering me is how we do the camera work with this. Because So if I add a buffer space to this is fine, right? So if I say, okay, so like I don't want you to be able to grab a ledge, so I just add these bits here. But the camera will now draw beyond this point. Like I don't want it. So basically we've got this other issue, right? Okay, so you can't be able to grab these ledges. Fine, right? But I don't want to have to draw out extra tiles because of the way the camera works. Because if I do this, when I go to here, you can see it like twist upwards, and I don't like that because then you have to like fill in the background up here and it's kind of weird, right? So I would rather just go and, is there a no ledge tile? That's what we're about to create. There is no way to determine if it's an area where you can't ledge grab, basically. The ledge grab will just go. Basically, let me just remove these. What it does, it collides with these tiles. It collides with objects, and it says, if you're here, if your character is in this tile against this wall, but there's nothing above you, hey, just grab the ledge, mate, right? So we need to create something to prevent that, because I don't want it to draw beyond this space because I don't think it looks very good. So this looks a lot better, like the camera ends and it won't push beyond this point, right? So what do? We need to create like delete the tiles off either side and it will look like a little step. May solve it. No, because then it will look like a little step, but you used to be able to grab the ledges, I think. I'm trying to think. Is that a good idea? Do you mean like these ones here? Like this? Or like... You'll still end up in a vault state. That might actually be like, you could vault this and then get shifted up and you'd be able to avoid. You would still be able to vault this technically. You could make the opening wider so it's just not possible. You're always going to spawn in the center of this, which is kind of funny. I wonder if you could like escape the level if you did this. You have to widen the... I mean, yeah, that kind of works, but like, whoa, did you see that? He just sort of goes up. That's funny. Yup. Off we go. I do actually find that quite humorous. There's a better way to do it, I reckon. It's not bad, but... And then you just have to fix the animation issues. But... So we can create an object. There's a couple of different ways we could do it, right? Like how much time have you allotted for the bug? For which bug? I don't allot time. I'm like so bad at what do you call that? That's like a programming thing, right? Which bug? Why are you missing your head? What do you mean? It's right here. Oh, you mean the character? Yeah, it's like, it's a visual thing. That one I have not a lot of time to because I don't even want to do it because it's annoying. I'm gonna have to eventually. I can't even ship the alpha like that because people will be like, there's a visual bug. And I'd be like, yeah, I know. So, we've got these background tile maps. We could use this. We just need to set up a physics object. Collisions enabled, yes. And then what you do is you go to the tile and you add, you've got terrain. But if you know it, if you do it now, then you don't have to do it later. True. So what we can do is we can actually create a collision object in this. I mean, should it be on the background tile or should it be like just a no-go tile? Like we create a tile set that we can just draw that the player won't be able to see, but won't be able to interact with. Even in the regular tile map layer, right? You could create, like you have multiple tiles here. You could create, no, take that back. That won't work because we're using that to set the bounds of the camera, which is the whole crux of this issue. So we need a separate tile map. Let's create a separate object. It's a tile map. Not a tile map, it's a tile map layer. Or even if we created like a set. So if we just create like a single tile, right? Where's Ace right? I believe they're 16 by 16. Just so it's like really visually clear what we're looking at, right? Like we just make it like this. We'll just hide them because even though it like is not visible visually to the player, it will be visible in the editor. Like we just create like a single tile like that. We export it as, and then we output it to like placeholder. No-go zone. This is essentially our invisible wall. That's what we don't. We don't have invisible walls in this game yet. And that's what we need. We need invisible walls to protect ourselves. And we create a new tile map layer. Just put it at the top. It's fine. And we create a new tile set. And then we add the no-go zone. Did we export it to the right spot? Assets, placeholder, no-go zone. Yep, there we go. That took a second. No-go zone. Yes. And then we go to the tile set, 16 by 16, physics layers, we add a physics layer. And then we paint, we choose physics layer 0, and we find our tile here, and we click it, okay, and we select it, and then we can go to the tile map, and we can just draw that. So then we can go here, turn off this, and we can just say, yeah, this is the spot. Now I kind of see it. A weird little issue, eh? What am I looking at here? What is this big grey thing? The navigation. Why does it disappear when I click? It should just go down, yeah? They are there. They're just below the background tile. Hey, NA. Look at all these ones that I stuck in. I didn't even see them. Welcome to the stream. I'm creating invisible walls. And they're behind the background, so you can't see when you put them in, which is hilarious. They exist here, right? This is a no-go zone. You cannot go in the no-go zone. And now you can no longer see them. It's 23:48. Damn, it's late. and then go into the, I want to save this as a scene, like a invisible, I just call it invisible wall. Invisible wall. Although no-go zone is pretty funny as a name. We could save that, or we could save the tile set. Save branches scene. Invisible wall. In the world. Save. And then we can go to, and we can open this as a scene. Just delete the, this.
HSWP squid 1, squid 2, squid 2, squid 3, squid 2, squid 2, squid 4.
Squid. Hilarious. I forgot it was TTS. So it sits behind the background. Now, what if the background doesn't exist? I guess they're visible. I guess we can just turn them off, their visibility off. That doesn't change their way they interact with physics. So we can just hide them. In fact, we could even put a script on it if we find ourselves forgetting. So then we can go to facility entry 3, and we can change this now to... I'm too tired to think today, but I'm going to go play illegally acquired card games at school by Job Simulator, hopefully. Illegally acquired games at school on the Job Simulator. I guess you mean like on the computers at school, you're going to play games that you've illegally acquired, which we don't do around here. We definitely don't do that. Yes, I said legally, speech to text, yeah. Legally acquired games, We add the invisible wall. Put it at the top of the scene. And then here, we are going to go back to this tile map here. And now we can actually do some pretty fun things now that we've got this. We could like say that this is just like one layer here. And then we've got the invisible wall below it. Which we're going to go tiles, make sure we select the tile, and then we can select all of this here, and then we can turn it off and grab the door and just move that below this. Right? Easy. You hit your head on it. We ledge grabbed. That's not supposed to be allowed. Do we have to say, like, if you're in the ledge grab state, like, I actually, you know what? Like, if this was a downward... We need to put this like further down, right? So that if you do ledge grab, how do you start Godot? I'm so confused. Another possible method, if the exit rect is larger than the space, then you have a condition if inside rect, disable ledge grab. Yeah, I was literally just thinking that. Like, you have to like be like, if you're like in this area, you can't actually vault. You can't do a ledge grab. Or like, if you don't actually want to fall down this, we can actually just make the boundary a little bit lower and put it so you're like falling way down before you hit that. In fact, you can jump that higher, so let's just go one more and then grab this and put it at the bottom. And then there's no way that you can ledge grab. If you do ledge grab, you're not going to hit this, right? And then in the other room as well. So how do you start Godot? Start with the GD quest. Yeah, GD quest. GD quest is a really good point. Brackies is really good. GD quest has like a website, right? GD quest learn Godot. I actually don't know the name of the website. Learn to make games. Get started for free. This is a really good platform, I believe. What they say about it. I actually don't know. They have a website which is like visual. It'll take you through, like click this, click that. Is it tools? I don't know. Godot 4 courses. Starter kit. Wait, go back. Save on the launch part. Oh no, it's got like a learn GD script from zero. Is that what it's called? That one. 154 bucks. Damn, I need to put my prices up. Oh, I don't have like a comprehensive tool. How many hours is that? It's probably way better than mine. Tap toots. This one here. There you go. Like the free version. Yeah, see, this is really good. This is, yeah, this is, I mean, this is probably all you need. And then you've got like the Brachy's Godot course as well. I don't know how it compares. This video here is like an hour, 17 minutes, and you're going to learn.
Godot.
There's two videos, right? There's this video and then the next video. The first one shows you how to use the engine. The next one shows you how to use the coding. Personally, I feel like you kind of need to know a little bit about coding before you get started in these things. Maybe know what a variable is and how to write a function. But yeah, like, you know, you've got how to program and how to make a video game. Those two are like, if you watch both of those, it's a good place to start as well. This is probably better in terms of like from zero, right? They're going to teach you what a variable is. And you might too, as I honestly haven't watched them because it's not for me. But it does have 2 million views, so you know it's worth something. You can't get out of it. I mean, you can. You barely make it. We're up. Honestly, that's not too bad. Except for when you don't get transported out of it. That's pretty funny. And then you can even vault off it. Oop. We're above it. Whoa. Dude, what is going on? That's incredible. We are in the scene somewhere. We're trapped. I'm like almost, it's fun. This is actually kind of fun because I've never seen errors like this before. Stop killing games. Oh, we've got a highbrow at, I don't know, I'm banning you because you tagged some random shit. On the school VR, we're going to try and play a job simulator and one other, and then on the actual laptops we will have Minecraft and my summer car. Nice. How many hours is this project? Honestly, not too sure. I work on it maybe like 2 hours a day for like 5 months. What's that? $2 times like what? 365. What's that? Like 180 days or something like that. 360 hours. SKG will make it harder for smaller devs who have to jump hoops. I don't know, man. I guess it depends on the kind of game you're making. I find it really interesting that occasionally you won't get jumped. What's up with that? Is it because you're on the ground? Legislation always stuffs up industries. No, well, you need to have some kind of regulation. That's otherwise we end up with sawdust in bread. But, you know. It's funny though, like, I think there's two minds in my head, right? Because obviously I went to school and I studied like business and economics and all that kind of stuff. And what you're saying is like, oh, well, you know, the market will work itself out. Like if companies keep making these games that never materialize, we'll just stop buying them. But like consumers are really dumb and they just keep buying them. I believe in Lord Gaben. Thank God we have Steam. Well, even Steam has this problem, right? Like Steam, you're technically just buying a license for the game. You don't own it, which is a part of the issue. Like when it comes to digital stuff, like I understand the cause of the problem. I'm not sure about the solution. I do support stop killing games, but like, I totally agree with what you're saying, Bone Circuit. It's like, do we need to like, because that stuff does kind of suck. Like I remember when I, especially for me, like years ago when I published my first, Google Play Store game, it was like, you need to have a privacy policy. I'm like, mate, I'm just some guy in my room. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not taking anybody's data. I don't need a privacy policy. And it was like, you have to do a lot. And even in Australia, like if you want to make like a company, it's actually a lot of work and a lot of money, right? If you're just a guy. So like potentially you put like some kind of revenue cutoff on this kind of stuff. I don't know. I've always thought that was a cool idea. Like, yeah, we need the regulation for like the big guys that are trying to like squeeze every last piece, like every last penny out of it. They're going to start putting sawdust in your bread kind of thing. But also like there's just the regular dude who wants to make like nice bread, but he has to get like a food safety certificate. I don't know. Like I'm using food as an example, but like it can be anything. Yeah, you have to get a DUNS number for mobile sales. I don't even know what a DUNS number is. But yeah, there's like a whole bunch of stuff. It's like I needed to get an ABN just to post a course online. And it's like, yeah, I'm not even making that much money. What's a DUNS number? I've never heard that term before. A data universal numbering system is a number unique 9-digit identifier for a business, developed by Duns and Bradstreet to establish a credit file and verify business identity globally. Huh. Well, I managed to publish to Google Play Store without that. Business credit file to help lenders and partners. This feels like big guy stuff. An American requirement. Huh. Yeah, I've literally never come across that, and I do stuff with YouTube and Udemy, and obviously, yeah, Google Play Store was a while ago, so that was like 5 years ago. I've never heard of this. Data Universal Numbering System. Is it like if you establish a business in America or whatever? Interesting. Well, now I know. Is a proprietary system that assigns unique numerical identifier to DUNS, single business entity. It was introduced in '63. It is a standard worldwide. Dude, they never taught me about this at school. I haven't even come across this in my own work. Is this specifically to, if you establish you need an American DUNS to trade? Really? I've never come across this in all of my years. Maybe, is it just like one of those things once you have it? Like I've never worked for as a startup or anything. Like once you have it, no one ever thinks about it anymore. Also, the businesses I've worked for, I mean, one was like international and European. And the other one was, they were, the other two big companies that I've worked for have just been like Australia only. The current company that I work for is like Australia and New Zealand. Apple wants it to publish on their store, which I've never done. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's really fascinating. I'm surprised I've never seen it before, to be honest. Huh. Australian government. Other agencies such as some United Nations offices and Australian government agencies require certain businesses to have a DUNS number. I'm really a massive headache. Yeah, sounds it. It's annoying. It's annoying when you're just this little guy trying to do stuff. I agree, but also, I also don't like it when the big companies do shit to like screw people over. I don't know what the correct solution is. I just bought Rainworld. I've never played it. Is it good? And ISTG. What is ISTG? You got a lot done while I was gone? Maybe. Not really. I don't know how I escaped this. I swear to God, it's really hard. Huh. Oh, I get what you're trying to say here. I bought Rainworld and I swear to God, it's a masterpiece. Right. Okay. I should try it one day. Yeah, okay, so we've got two issues here. One is that we're going into idle for some reason, which is kind of weird. So we go jump and then into idle. Did the door get reset? This is still up. My chat has a massive delay. Try updating the stream. There's a button you can click in the bottom left-hand corner. I wonder if I can show it. I type Chaff, I have to look for myself. So if you're behind, you won't actually know, but you can click this button here. You just got to click this button. And it'll take you to the most recent point. I've got it set to ultra low latency. But yeah, I don't know. Could be you. Yeah, okay, so the question is, why are we going into idle straight away? Is it because you're on the floor and you're instantly set to be, like if you're touching the ground, you always get put to idle. Or like, depends on your input. So this could just be the fact that there's ground right below you. So you could like manipulate this by changing this wall setting, like as we're learning about this, to look like this. Or something like that, so you can't ever be on the floor. There's a scroll up to Bone Circuit's message and you'll see that it's up quite a bit. People say that to do a Pong, but I want to do a Metroidvania so bad. You gotta, if you've never made a game, you gotta start way slower. Like, I don't think you can. People do. But like, it's hard. Metroidvanias are, I mean, I've learnt a lot. I'll be honest with you. Deterred means what? Don't be discouraged. Don't worry. I honestly think this could be moved up a bit. Okay. The question is now, can we produce an error where we get transported? Super Metroid is really good. I want to know why sometimes you get just transported into idle. It's a very random error, and I haven't been able to reproduce it. We were seeing it before. So this is probably like really annoying to watch me like transition over and over again, try and figure out what the hell's going on here. Yeah, go do your thing. I'm about to end anyway because I gotta go to work. I have to ruminate on this for a bit, try and see what I can come up with to fix this kind of weird issue. Well, I was able to produce it then. I have tried to learn GDScript from Visual. I can't talk. I've tried to learn GDScript from zero. It never finished, but it's good. Yeah, it is good. Where's the game start? Is the game start in a funky position? Anyway, I guess I just have to keep working on this to try and fine tune it. This is quick QA, you know, you just do something over and over again to see if you can find inconsistencies, right? People do this for a job, right? I can't imagine it. It has like a random function? Random function's really easy. All right, let's get out of here. Where do we send you all onto? You can go to developer Ezra. Oh, he develops on both platforms. I can send YouTubers to that too. So hang on a second. Let me set this up. Hold. Everyone hold. If I go to edit and then I go to customization and I add a redirect, I can go to not my own videos, but developer Ezra. Does he have it? I think he live streams, right? Ask to add you to their live redirect list in community settings. Let me redirect. Okay. Well, I guess we can't do that then. I should ask him though. Start raid. Have a good day, guys. I've got to go and read some contracts and do some journals and stuff. Me teleports to a random place in the map. Yeah. A grappling gun has a random chance to explode. I don't think people would find that fun, but a grappling gun would be fun. All right, guys. See ya.